Ah, that was a great meal. I don't think I could eat another bite. No matter how much we ate yesterday, I'm surprised you're still able to pack away this much food. Well, you're all growing boys and girls, so eat up. Riding takes a lot of energy, so I'd say eating like this is normal after a day out on the plains. Would anyone like more? I should probably refrain. If there's any chicken left, we can wrap it in bamboo and take it with us. Who knows, we might need something to gnaw on while we're out there today. Okay. Let me help too. I'll pour the leftover tea into some containers for you too. Ah, thanks. You really are too kind. You're our guest. What kind of host would you be if we didn't treat you as such? Anyway, here's the grand list of tasks you'll be tending to today. Here's study day 2, assigned tasks. Huh? There's just one? A large unknown monster has been seen in the northern part of the highland. It must be exterminated at all costs. Details unknown, southwest area of the Northern Highlands, near the cliff edge. That it? Really? I figured it couldn't hurt to give you fewer than yesterday. Feel free to take advantage of the extra time to do whatever strikes your fancy. Maybe go off the beaten path a bit. Understood. Thank you again for everything. You want to spend more of your time with your grandfather today, Alyssa? It sounds like you weren't able to spend much time with him yesterday. Gwen stayed at the Elder's home yesterday, right? I imagine you ought to be up and about soon. We'd have no objections to complete this morning's task without you, if you'd wish to spend more time with him. But... Lockhart, are you there? Elder, yes, I'm here. Oh, good morning. Grandfather? Norton? Morning, everyone. Sorry to intrude. Judging by the looks on your faces, it seems not all is well. I'm afraid you're right. We received word from Zender Gate just a short while ago. It seems the Imperial Army's watchtower has been attacked. Huh? What? It sounds like it all happened in the middle of the night. And that's not the last of it either. Apparently the Republican Army's base has been attacked too. This isn't gonna be pretty. Airborne Armored Division being sent out first as always, I see. I suppose it's only a matter of time before they give the order for the armoured regiments too. Lieutenant General, we confirmed the death of 2 of our guards. A further 3 have sustained serious injuries, but we've been able to stabilize their condition. I see. Have the medics seen to them the second they arrive? Yes, sir. Contact Zender Gate. Prepare the 3rd Armored Division for deployment. I want all armored vehicles ready to move before I return. Hey, you sure you don't need us to go out? I appreciate your willingness, but we'll be fine. We're used to the procedures for moving the settlement in case of an emergency. Same goes for you guys. I assume you'll be heading to Zender Gate to learn more about the current situation from Lieutenant General Zex. Not as a citizen of Nord, but as a student of Thor's military academy. I will. Will you be staying here, Grandfather? I will. I can use the truck after all. And since I was here anyway, I might as well do what I can to get the settlement ready to move. Alright, please take care of yourself. I'm sorry, Elder Lecter. I feel terrible that I can't help you when you need it the most. You have your own job to do. There's no need to worry about us. May the blessings of the winds and the goddess be with you all. Take care. We will. We must make for Zender Gate at once. Indeed, we need to figure out as much as we can about what happened. Cameraman North didn't accompany the book. I know the reaches of North Highlands are temporarily inaccessible. Isn't my quest in the northern area though? Yeah, north. And it's not available. Huh. Now, you know how I said before that we were gonna, you know, do all the quartzy, sportsy stuff off camera? Yeah, that's not happening. Anyway, let's see if this really is, except we don't really have the time to head out to the northern region right now. Alright, fine, can't go that way. Wouldn't it? Actually, that's not we got help right now. Choose to ask him, let's ask a question about the monsters you want us to exterminate. Sure, ask away. Well, it's not one of your required tasks, it can't hurt to know just more about it in case. In that case, we'd like to know more about the monster itself. Based on the request, it's the type of monster no one's seen. Yeah, I can confirm it is that as of this morning. In fact, just its figure alone is a mystery. What I saw there was no ordinary monster, but a giant made of stone. A giant made of stone? That sounds remarkably similar to the golems from the old fairy tale. We have legends of such a creature as well. And now that you mention it, that monster was strictly similar to what's described in those stories. That's just bizarre. I've got a bad feeling about this. Me too. Either way, we should probably get rid of it quickly before anything happens. That's exactly why I decided to assign you this task. If you're going after it, head to the southwestern area of the Highlands Northern region. However, keep in mind that there's no need to force yourself should it prove more dangerous than anticipated. Got it. Thanks for the information, Dad. Either way, we should go and at least get a look at it ourselves at least. We can decide what to do after. Be careful out there. May the blessings of the wind and the goddess be with you. No worries. I now go this way. And for all that info about the monster, still can't go kill it, right? I suppose we probably should find out what's going on before we go and frivolously waste our time doing something else. Only makes sense. So let's rush over to Zender Gate and find out what the hell happened. And if by chance on the way there we happen to have a look. Yes. Have a look at what happened to this tower. I'm really sorry to put you guys up to this, but you really helped me out more than enough yesterday. No problem, don't sweat it. This must be the kind of breaking news every press cameraman dreams of being on the scene for. Still, it bothers me. How is it possible that both the Imperial and Republican bases were attacked at the same time? Do you think one attacked first and the other swiftly retaliated? No time to think about that right now, we just need to hurry. We need to get to Zender Gate as fast as we can. Right! Oh, don't ride too rough, okay? Thinking about maybe popping over there and having a look. But from the sounds of things, I think we're better off going straight to the gate. Most likely, yeah. I mean, we already got all the chests and stuff around here, so we don't have to worry about that. What do you need to worry about? It's my sense of direction. Straight ahead, it's the wrong way. Left a bit and up that route. Anyway. But yeah, especially seeing as how we can't actually do the side quest right now. Which leads me to multiple assumptions, but we'll discuss them later. As such, we should just head straight along. But the theory of them being it's weird not having a tower. Oh, there it is. That's quite bad even from this distance. Anyway. The idea of one being attacked and the other retaliating rather quick isn't impossible.
That's one of the Imperial Army's airships.
This situation is looking worse by the minute. We need to hurry. Yeah!
That's not good. hard when you can't raise the camera above you, by the way. I was trying to keep track of the airship, but it wasn't letting me. But yeah, we should find out the situation first, and then plan our attack afterwards.
Those are armored cars from the Imperial Army.
Damn, this isn't looking good.
This is the Imperial Army's 3rd Armor Division. And it appears that they're preparing for deployment. Thanks, everyone. Let me go see if I can get permission to start taking photographs. I wonder who the Lieutenant General Zex could be. We need to inform him so he can tell us what's going on here. I suspected you might show up. Lieutenant General! Did you have some business to attend to elsewhere, sir? I thought I'd conduct another sweep of the area as a precaution. But never mind that now, you came at a perfect time. A freight train bound for Roar departs 30 minutes from now. I want all of you on board that train. Finish up your field study as quickly as you can and return to the academy. What? But sir... Well, things ultimately depend on the actions of the Republican Army. The bottom line is that we may be mere hours away from armed conflict with the Cowboy Republic. I've already informed everyone in the settlement. They did not relay the message to you. That may be... Okay. Be that as it may, you guys just turn tail and pretend none of this is happening. Lieutenant General, have you established which side attacked first? Guys? That's the central question here, though. It's still under investigation. You have my assurance... What? Fuck my throat. You have my assurance that the Imperial Army did not attack. We did not make the first move, nor have we retaliated. However, our army's watchtower was destroyed, and several guards lost their lives. As the officer in charge of Zender Gate, I have a duty to act. So there really were fatalities. Let's presume, for the sake of argument, that the damage sustained by the Republican Army's base was in fact deliberate sabotage by their own forces. How bad was the damage? Several of their facilities suffered major structural damage. The losses appear to be, at minimum, equal to ours. Honestly, I'd estimate them to be far greater. But if they suffered even more damage than we did, that doesn't make any sense! I'm afraid we've long since passed the point where leisurely discussing our possibilities was an option. I will do all that I can to avoid full-scale war, but we're preparing for the possibility of armed conflict. And I suspect they are as well. But that just seems so wrong. If that's your opinion, Lieutenant General, will you at least allow me the chance to investigate what happened on my own? Guys? Investigate on your own? As I'm sure you're aware, I know the Highlands at the back of my hand. And when someone attempts to threaten the peace of my homeland, I won't rest until I've unearthed the truth behind what's happening. You're serious? We'll do everything we can to help you. I think this falls within the scope of our field study too, anyway. No, wait. This is the people of Nord's problem. There's no reason for you all to stay here and risk getting caught in the crossfire. A classmate and friend is staying behind. Is that enough of a reason? I am the son of the House of Alberia. I would never disgrace the honor of my family name by fleeing in the face of danger. Besides, it seems like your people have done a lot for my grandfather. Guys, do you remember what you said to us back at Heimdall Station? The most important thing is that we all come back safe and sound. Everything else is secondary. Huh? It appears you've lost us one, guys. Lieutenant General, It's currently 10:05. I'll permit you until 12:30 to conduct your investigation. I will do everything in my power to postpone any conflict until at least then. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Then we haven't a moment to waste. We should begin by visiting the watchtower that was attacked. That sounds like a good place to start. thank you. Really, I appreciate it more than you know. It's no big deal, honestly. I agree with Alyssa. We're classmates after all. More than that, we're friends. Well, this is clearly of great importance to you. I know you want to protect your people, but that's not the only reason you're doing this, is it? You got me. It ties back into why I accepted the Lieutenant General's recommendation and entered the academy too. I'm sure each of you feels the same about your own home, but I love this land with all my heart. The wind racing across the highlands, the vast mountain peaks, the clear blue of the sky, the breathtaking beauty of the rising sun, the melancholy of the sunset, the twinkling of the stars in the twilight. I love everything about this land of Nord. It's part of who I am. Wow, guess it hasn't sunk in how much Nord really means to you. I am certainly attached to Ruhr, but I can't think of anyone else that can state their love for their homeland so poetically. If you love it so much, why did you leave it behind? If you truly love Nord, if Nord is such a part of you, what is it that drove you to enroll in the military academy in a foreign land so far away? I'm not surprised you'd find it strange. To be honest, I'm still not totally sure what got me to do it. Back when I was a kid, the Republican Army built a base in the Eastern Plains. And the Imperial Army responded in kind with their watchtower. This made me more easy with each passing year. Years ago, a traveling priest from the Septine Church taught me all about the history of the continent. One thing that stood out to me was just how many lives have been lost during conflict between the major powers. Another major theme was just how profound of an impact the Orbital Revolution had on people's lives. Even the concepts of time and distance changed so much. In effect, the Orbital Revolution shrunk the world. It made me realize one sad truth, one that kind of scares me even now. That there was no guarantee my homeland could stay at peace forever. That one day it might be drawn to outsiders conflict, be occupied and redirected into oblivion. I can't believe you were thinking about such weighty things even as a kid. So then, you joined the academy in order to learn about the outside world that posed a threat to your homeland? Yeah, something along those lines. When I realized how afraid I was, I knew I couldn't close my eyes. I wanted to do something, anything, to protect this land. As luck would have it, I met the Lieutenant General. He's the one who told me about Thor's military academy. One thing led to another, and he offered me a recommendation. Before I knew it, I took him up on his offer. So there I was, green as the grass, heading off to study abroad despite having no clue what life in the Empire was like. Thinking back on how it all came together, what you said is probably what I was thinking back then. Honestly, I've yet to hear a student offer a more galvanizing reason than yours for enrolling at the academy. I have to agree. I don't know how too many people who loved their home so much that they'd leave it behind and find a way to protect it. Not a sentiment I can imagine many Erebonians feeling, that's for sure. But I think I finally understand. Alyssa? Oh, just an idle thought. But having heard Gaius pour his heart out, there's no way we can just walk away from this. Not after the people of Nord gave us such a warm welcome and treated us like family. Indeed, I couldn't have asked for more. Agreed. We'll get to the bottom of what's going on here and stop the war from breaking out. Nord may not be our home, but it's still an important neighbor. I'll do what I can to aid you. Thanks, all of you. Really, thank you. See shell damage everywhere. Even worse than I feared. They confirmed casualties too. I didn't think I'd ever see anything like this. As students at a military academy, things like this are always within the realm of possibility. Although I hardly expected my first sight of such devastation to be the spark that ignites war with Calvert. This may be too much for students like us to handle. No, we've all been in situations that looked impossible before, haven't we? And every time we've come through, we just have to stay calm and think. Sure, we can do something here too. You're right. True, we should focus on doing what we can. Whatever we decide to do, we need to get a better grasp of the situation. Yeah, let's find who's in charge and get their permission to start an investigation. I see. If Lieutenant General Zex has given you permission, I see no reason to refuse. Thank you. However, I want to make it clear that armed conflict with cowboys could begin at any moment. We've got our hands full staying on guard for any potential threat from the east. I'll permit you to speak with the soldiers here, but don't get in the way of them doing their duties. Understood. Okay, then let's get started. We should start by speaking with the soldiers and assessing the damage. That seems wise. When we gathered all the information we need, we can start piecing it together. Right, let's go. Alright, who wants to talk? Still, I still can't raise the camera to point it. I was gonna say still, the damage is quite bad, but I don't know, it looks like from down here. Won't let me look up. Although that being said, there is bits of it everywhere. Anyway. Lord, why did you have to go die on me? That seems pretty down. Can't say I don't understand how he feels though. It was right when the shift changed. Rowan came out to relieve me, and I was chatting away with him like usual. That's when the first shell hit us. Must have been around 3 in the morning. We started around 3 there. Right in the middle of the night. I was on lookout. I should have noticed something was off, but that explosion took me completely by surprise. I was so sure nothing would ever happen out here that when something actually did, I was totally useless. If I just paid even a bit more attention, if I'd been even a better soldier, maybe Rowan would still be with us now. It's not your fault. None of us could have predicted that something like this would happen. You can hardly blame yourself for lack of vigilance after being stationed in a peaceful area like this for so long. To attack in the dead of night, knowing your guard would be down. I wonder if it really was the Republican army's doing after all. We need more information before we can say for sure though. No, I don't think it was them. There was something else that happened before we came under attack. We heard an explosion coming from the Republican army's base, but when we looked, we saw smoke coming out of it. What? I knew that both bases were attacked. Did both attacks really happen at around the same time? If that's so, it's unlikely that either army was responsible. Who is responsible then? We should keep this in mind as we piece things together. So neither army struck the first shot. But if that's true, who did? Huh? Is this... what is it? What's up, Alyssa? Is there something unusual about that scrap of metal? I knew it! This is a mortar shell manufactured by the Rankford Company. You sure? Yeah, I've seen them before in the assembly line. There are only a couple models capable of firing this kind of shell though. That would suggest that the mortar used to fire it was also made by the Rankford Company. But if we assume that's true, it seems much less likely that the Republic was responsible. True, why would the Republican army use a weapon made in the Empire? Doesn't make much sense to me. Even if we account for deception, it seems unlikely that Calvert would go this far to conceal their involvement. Though considering the stakes, we can't entirely rule out the possibility. Still, this might prove to be an important clue to solving this mystery. So they struck in the dead of night, when our guard was there, with weaponry that shouldn't be in the Republic. This is awful. It really is. It looks like they got hit hard. To think there were casualties. You know the Imperial Army isn't just going to sit and twiddle their thumbs after suffering an attack like this. They had their image to uphold after all. Hey, looks like most of the damage is concentrated on the south side of the building. You think whoever carried out the attack could have done it in the Highlands? Seems very likely. But where in the plains could they launch an attack like that from? Well, the Highlands are incredibly vast. We'd need some kind of clue to even know where to start looking. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to find something that'll point us in the right direction. So we got hit by a mortar. Do you think it's from the Highlands? The Highlands are fucking huge! Jesus, there's the other base over there, look. Massive. I don't know. Any ideas? What's the situation with the Republican army? they're really hustling over there. We confront a number of armored vehicles entering and exiting the area. I've heard their base got hit pretty badly too. And even from over here, it sure looks that way. The Lieutenant General said that the Republican base got hit at least as hard as the Watchtower, if not harder. But we believe they were responsible for that as well. They need an excuse to attack us, and that sure as hell looks like one. Do you think that's true? That much damage seems awfully excessive. They probably just got overzealous with the explosion. Doesn't make that much difference either way. If they're brazen enough to attack us, we'll blow them back across the border. Don't you see, it all seem to have their doubts, huh? But without any hard evidence, we're not going to be able to convince them of anything. We should reconsider the possibility that this was a deliberate act of sabotage by Calvert's forces. I think that's all the info we can gather here. I think so too. That means analyze what we've learned. First, we should establish a good picture of what was happening when the attack occurred. That seems like the best place to start. So first of all, what time did the actual attack on the Watchtower happen? Just before 3 AM. It was 3 AM. Yes, that was what the guard told us. But that wasn't all that was going on then. That's right, the Republican Army's base also came under attack. And according to the Lieutenant General, they suffered even greater damage than what happened here. I think we can safely discount the possibility that the Republican Army bombed their own forces then. But there's no evidence that the Imperial Army launched an attack either. All we know is that both attacks happened and both sides took heavy damage. However, as Alyssa said, we have no evidence to suggest that either side was responsible. If we accept that as fact, the most likely scenario is the responsibility lies with another party entirely. So you think third party is working behind the scenes to provoke both countries into starting a war? Tensions between the Empire and the Republic are always high, but compared to other areas of similar political value, the North Highlands have always been peaceful. I can conceive of no reason either country would have decided to break that peace last night. I agree. If anything, it seems like the negatives would outweigh the positives for both parties. If this were Crossbell, it might be a different story, but here. Funny you mention it. We found something else odd about the attack on the Watchtower, didn't we? Something that seems to point to a third party's involvement. Something else odd about the attack on the Watchtower? I bet she's referring to this. You mean the weapon they used, right? Talking about the mortars used for the attack, right? Exactly. It looks like the orbital mortars they used in the attack were an old rifle model. And I, for one, find it pretty unlikely that the Republican armies is packing Erebonian-made weapons. Indeed, there's little reason to be considering the Republic as its own major orbital technology manufacturer. The Verne Company, as I recall. Yep, the Verne Company is responsible for manufacturing most of the arms used by the Republican Army. Then there's the fact that the mortar here used here is old. The Imperial Army hasn't used this model for years. I thought that the military surplus sometimes makes its way back onto the black market and ends up in the hands of mercenaries. Knowing that, it seems unlikely that either army chose to use it to cover their tracks. Quite. Well, but there was a far more pressing question we need to answer. What do you mean? I know where you're going. We need to know where the attack was launched in the first place. That's going to be difficult to work out. But without that vital detail, all our speculation thus far is for naught. If we intend to avert a war, we need more than speculation. We need conclusive evidence. Agreed. But the Highlands are far too vast to just strike out searching blindly. Especially with the Lieutenant General's decline rapidly approaching. Sorry, deadline. He's not retiring. Actually, we may not have to start our search blind. If Alyssa and Gaius will lend me a hand, I may be able to help. Huh? What do you have in mind? If I can factor in the location of the damage, together with the speed and trajectory of the mortar shells, and then take into account the Highlands winds, I may be able to estimate the area from which the mortar was fired. Potentially anyway. Are you serious? Sounds easier said than done. That's some complex math. I'll do what I can. Are you familiar with the specifics of the shell that we used? I think so. It's an old model, but I should be able to give you some rough data. That should be plenty. Anyways, let's have another look at those damaged areas and start our calculation. Please come with me, everyone. Right. Alright, I think I've calculated the rough location. I believe the mortar was fired from a location to the south of here. Using the map as a reference point, that means it was likely launched from somewhere in this area. And according to my calculations, the launch site shouldn't be too far from here. Wow, I can't believe you managed to work all that out. That's well beyond the level of mathematics we cover in class. I'll enjoy watching Regnus really sweat it out trying to best you on our next midterm. Just a little applied physics. I couldn't have done it without listening guys' help though. It looks like we've got a nice big piece of the puzzle right in our hands. Sure seems like it. Let's take off and start looting. Right. Rin and the others reported their findings to the soldier in charge and asked him to relay the intel to Zender Gate. Afterwards, they set out on horseback to begin their search.